All access. Okay, hang on. Hang on. Okay, she wanted kisses. She wanted kisses. All access. I got it because Comic Pop recommended it. We will also be doing at some point, maybe in this very review, his Terminator, what we have of Sal's Terminator storyline. But this was basically everything he said it would be. 2 stories. What I liked about it was that they are trying to form, the characters in the story are trying to form the Justice League from the Justice League Unlimited cartoon, which is about time. Which means Wave Rider will be on the Justice League at some point. They will have Plastic Man and Elongated Man. I thought they were trying to form it way back in the 2000s, but no. This, they actually name it, they actually call it that. They explain how Booster Gold ended up on that Justice League. I'm really looking forward to whatever they end up doing with Booster Gold. This story, that was the one drawback. Both stories stop too soon. I was like, what about my boy? What have you done to my boy? Referring to Booster. What have you done? They like destroy Skeet and like fling him into a wormhole. Which you got to keep in mind, there are other time travelers in the DC universe. So what's going to happen when they try to time travel? What's going to happen when Rip Hunter tries to rescue Booster? Because, you know, he's not going to let his dad just float there in whatever we're calling the all access universe now. You know, the absolute universe or whatever. They're not going to kill him off right as he's getting a show. And people don't seem to know that. I have a friend who let's say he operates outside of comics. He doesn't really pick up the books. He watches like summaries here on YouTube. Been trying to get him to pick up the books for years. You know who you are. But this guy didn't. He knew that Darkseid died, but he had somehow forgotten that they're putting together that Justice League, and that Booster Gold falls in a wormhole and is now in the absolute universe, which is a big takeaway from this book. I mean, Booster Gold right now is kind of the glue that holds the DC universe together. Hang on. Glue that holds the DC universe together. And without that glue, Granted, people don't know he's the glue. Batman knows. But without that glue, what's going to happen? You know, at some point, Batman's going to have to approach the rest of the Justice League and tell them that, hey, we need to get Booster back because of this reason. Because things will start to change. Could it have been, I just had this thought now, could it have been that Booster wasn't there to stop whatever is going to happen, if it makes any sense at all? Excuse me, just did a pop review. That was good too. I mean, are we looking at like a Final Crisis type event where it's that big? And I use Final Crisis because he's the one that removed Batman from the board, Darkseid. He purposely, and if you remember the Dark Multiverse story, I think it was Dark Multiverse, but one of the stories right around Dark Knight's Metal, they had Batman show up in like universes where the bad guy won. Darkseid had won and made like a throne in that universe. He ruled over, which means he has witnessed that. So yeah, overall, I'd give the book a solid 4.5 out of 5. Because, like I said, stops too soon. You sit through all of the 2 stories, and they still can't come up with a decent ending. They didn't explain why his ring changed. They didn't explain the anomalies that were going on in the universe. They just tried to tie them together as best they can. And somehow, to make things even more confusing for me, somehow that Shazam ties in with this. It says all access on the thing. And yet it doesn't appear they're doing an all access Shazam. I thought that I might pick up all access Justice League and all access Shazam when they end up doing it. What do you guys think? I've been hearing a lot of buzz around all access Batman. And maybe all access Justice League too. Maybe. If you guys say it's any good. I want you to discuss in the comments. Let me know. Should I pick it up? Is it nothing but hype? Is it like this story that you get to the end and you still want more, like a Pringle or a McDonald's fry? I mean, I liked the gimmick that you have to flip the words upside down to understand Zatanna, but it just feels like they have so much more to say. On to the next book. So, Terminator. I was a big fan of the Sarah Connor Chronicles. My thought was, where's Agent Ellis? I'm calling it right now. I think that the old couple in this, and if you read the book, you understand, is Sarah Connor's grandparents or some significant. I don't think they're like the kid at the drive-through in the third Terminator, where he's just another member of the Resistance and he unfortunately gets killed. I think both of the stories, even the Sal one, will try to be significant in the Terminator canon, but inevitably they'll get pushed aside, like Agent Ellis from Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles, which was a good idea, but yeah, not well executed. I am curious to see, however, how Sal ties in, how Sal's story ties in with the actual Terminator canon. If he knew anything about um, the Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles, does it address the multiverse that could be happening? Is it just to tie in with the cartoon? I mean, there's a lot of questions here too. It involves one of my favorite things, time travel. Um, it kind of opens with, and that's not Sal's story because, like I said, the two stories didn't really feel connected. Yeah, but by the fourth issue, maybe who knows? But it opens up with this Terminator here. He is like narrating a decent chunk of the book, and then he narrates the end. The old man narrates the middle, and it's like I liked it because no other Terminator medium that I'm aware of has done that before. You haven't seen shit through the Terminator's eyes. You've seen stuff through these other people's eyes. You've seen stuff through like the eyes of the man who became the Terminator, or like I said, their victims. Unless you count that one scene in Terminator 3 where he picks up the glasses. I mean, that is pretty much all we've seen of them in their stories in the Terminator canon. So, once it ties together, I hope, like I said, it really pulls it together. I hope it's not like the Black Beetle where they make us wait years and years and years for a reveal, and you get, oh, it's just it was sent back by Sarah Connor or whatever. Um, yeah, it's a shame that Sal's only going to get 4 issues because he knows how to pull people in. Even if you didn't have a lot of information, if that makes any sense at all. The book will probably read better in trade because you won't have to wait for the big reveal that's coming, that I think's coming. I'd give it a 4, not a perfect book, because you shouldn't base something. You shouldn't base something solely on the reveal. You shouldn't be like, oh, there's an elephant behind the curtain. You should approach it like this is this person's first book, and that is the first exposure the person's going to get to Terminator. There should be as much. And I don't blame any of the writers on this book. But I do think if they were given more than if they were given more than just make it look good so we can sell the anime, they would have had like more. But than just selling the elephant behind the curtain. But that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Was I wrong about all access? How did this video come out? Let me know. I've been Bob. This has been The Other World According to Bob. We're doing Ghost Machine the next one. Bob out.